So waiting till later on in the afternoon, once FOMC had begun and started, we can see the sharp move to the downside. Once we finished that move to the downside, I noticed this trend upwards. So I marked out my usual level to kind of show the bottom of this, and I'm waiting for a break of this trend line to go short, possibly on IWM. So on this candle, I'm really surprised I didn't enter this candle just because of how quickly it moved down. But I think I what I was thinking is that that may have been some kind of a liquidity sweep. And sure enough, it closed right above that trend line. So I was pretty happy that I didn't get in there because I would have gotten stopped out immediately. So right here, I'm just being pretty patient on IWM, just trying to see what it's going to do below this trend line. Right off the bat, what I should have, well, hindsight trading is pretty easy, but what I should have taken note on are those two green candles that closed with a long bottom wick. So I got pretty aggressive here with that down move candle. My thinking on that was the sooner I get into it, the closer I am to my possible stop loss area, being that gray zone at 247. So hoping that this was the break in the trend line and that it would continue to the downside. But as we can see there, that red candle closed with a long bottom wick, and this candle looked like it started to move up pretty quickly. And like I said, the closer I was to that stop loss, sooner I can get out of it. And I got out for a small loss. The second trade that I took was the continuation below that trend line again. Now we see that that green candle with the long upper wick. I believed that that was a really good rejection, being below the trend line and that 247 level. So I got into another short on IWM, thinking, looking for the continuation to the downside. So we can see there the trade going against me, or it starts to go against me, starts pushing to the upside. So I'm trying to be very careful and selective on when to get out of the trade. I'm not wanting to get out in the middle in case it actually does decide to go in my direction. Waiting for closer to a candle close for the most part. But in this instance, it just seemed like it had too much strength behind it, a very quick push to the upside. And so I went ahead and exited that trade. So the third and final trade on the day was IWM again. It was still kind of trending below the 247 level, and it kept testing that trend line. And just based on what I've seen in the past, there's times where it will respect that trend line, break through, and continue to the downside. So you can see right there, I entered 5 contracts, pretty aggressive. I That candle barely closed below the trend line that I have drawn up, and so I went ahead and entered the trade. Kind of the same mentality. The closer I am to that 247 zone would be being my stop loss. The sooner I can get out and minimize my losses. Once we broke this swing low over here, got below it, my take profit area was going to be the low of day. You can see me there. Actually got out a little before it. I got very antsy just because this was one of the bigger trades I've actually taken personally. Um, so I wanted to get out of it and not let it go against me. So we can see there I ended the day up $130. That was after making up for those two losses that I took on the attempts over here. So we can see that IWM does go a little bit further, but I was more than happy to stop out or get out of the trade when I did.